hadn't thought about this, had you? Or maybe you had, and maybe I'm wrong. Hey y'all, Cami here from Cami at Home, talking about all things work from home. And I want to talk with you about the things that you're going to need to start working from home. Or at least the things that I've needed that I think you're going to need to start working from home. Some of these things are going to be obvious, like you're going to need some sort of computer device, a mouse, a keyboard, and probably a desk, but I will include my tips, tricks, and findings to try and keep things informative. Also, there may be some things listed here that you may not have considered, at least not yet. All right, let's get started with this list. A computer. So I guess any computer will really do here, but it'll make your life a little bit less frustrating if it's a computer or a laptop that has an SSD with at least 8 gigabytes of RAM and at least 250 gigabytes of memory, which is small, but it's a start. After a while, computers can become slow, so these specs will help to ensure that you can download the apps that you need to, and will help your computer or your laptop run a bit faster and more efficiently, at least for a while. I would personally recommend getting a gaming laptop, not because I'm a gamer, although I do game a bit, but because I've found that gaming computers tend to have better specs and run just as efficiently as a higher-end business computer, and usually at a lower cost. A mouse. So if you have a laptop, you may not need a mouse, at least not right away, but an ergonomic mouse can still be very helpful. What this means is that you can better protect your wrist, which may start hurting if you've been working on the computer for a while. So this is the one that I use. You can see that it has a place for my thumb and my fingers, even my side fingers. It has a scroller, and it has some buttons here and along the sides that I can customize. I've included a link in the description with a similar mouse. Unfortunately, the one I have is kind of old, so I can't find the link for that one. But I did include links for other mouses that I've used. A keyboard. If you're going to get a keyboard, get one that lights up. I promise it's going to change your life. But it is also good to get a keyboard that is ergonomic. Typing is a repetitive task and you're going to end up hurting your wrists and your fingers after hours and hours. So you want to make sure you get a keyboard that'll feel good to your wrists. For now, I use my light up keyboard that's on my laptop, but I do plan to be buying an ergonomic keyboard in the near future. In the meantime, I've included some examples of ergonomic keyboards in the description. Displays. So you might or might not have considered this, but having multiple displays can be useful to help you focus on the different things that you may be doing. So this is my setup. I'm actually not able to use these monitors now because I move around a lot while I'm working during the day, but there was a time when I did use them and I did find them really useful. I can have each thing I'm doing in each display, and it worked out really well. A chair and a desk. Yes, I know, this is super obvious. You can use a chair, you can use a stool, you can literally use a rock to sit on. But you're gonna want to be comfortable, and not everywhere you sit is going to be comfortable for hours and hours. You can certainly purchase a chair, but personally, I have found that office chairs are quite expensive. I was literally shocked when I was looking for chairs. So, being the frugal person I am, what I did instead to make the office chair that I had more comfortable was purchase back and seat cushions. So if you're trying to be more cost effective like me, you can do that as well. But if you want to be super cost effective, then you can just use cushions from your home. In terms of a desk, any stable service will work. You can literally use your lap if you have a laptop, but having a desk, especially a hydraulic one, can help you alternate between standing and sitting while you're working so that your back and your hips and your body doesn't cramp up at the end of the day. I actually own a hydraulic desk, and to prove it, okay, that's not proving anything. Cool, isn't it? You definitely don't have to be as fancy here. There are plenty of other hydraulic desks out there. You may have to crank it a bit, but it does essentially the same thing. A UPS system. So you can buy a generator, and if you do, you're better than me, because I don't have one. Why? Because they're expensive. What I do have though is an uninterruptible power supply, which is a bit more affordable. What this essentially is a large power bar with batteries. So if the power goes out for any reason, you can still charge your laptop or charge your other devices without being bothered. This is the one I have. In fact, I have two of these. There's one in my room, and then there's one in another room where the Wi-Fi is that the Wi-Fi is hooked into. A VPN. So a VPN, or a virtual private network, allows you to work on any internet connection anonymously. This is especially good for if you're working somewhere outside of the home and you're on a public internet connection. You can work more securely with a VPN. This is also good for if you are geo-blocked, which is a thing, because it'll mask where your location is so that you can access certain websites. Since I work from home and my connection is private, I use a VPN for other purposes, but I will certainly use it if I'm out somewhere like a coffee shop or just somewhere public on a public Wi-Fi. In addition to the VPN, I would also strongly recommend getting some type of antivirus and anti-malware to ensure that your device or your computer is protected from any attacks. Lighting. You hadn't thought about this, had you? Or maybe you had, and maybe I'm wrong. Either way, lighting is very important when you're working from home. Natural lighting is best because it works with your body's natural rhythm, helps you stay awake and alert, and increases your mental state or helps you remain more positive. But if you're not able to work by a window, no worries, I got you. Artificial lighting is what I use most of the time. I use LEDs because they save on the electricity bill. They can be really bright, and with the ones I have, they're controlled by remote. No clap on, clap off for me. A space to work. Whether you're using a stool and a kitchen table, you're gonna need a designated space to work. And as much as this is simple, it's important to actually do. When you work outside of the home, it's easier for your body to stay alert, awake, and in the zone because you are in a completely different environment. When you work from home, you have to create that environment for yourself. So you have to train your body to know when it's time to work and when it's time to chill. High-speed internet. Listen, just get the highest speed internet that you can afford. Having higher speed internet is going to make things much less frustrating when you're trying to get things done. You may need a higher speed of internet so that your calls don't drop and so that you can effectively do what it is that you're doing. But again, go with what you can afford, and then as you make that money, you can bump up the internet. And that's the list. These are just the things that I've needed, that I've found have helped me work from home much more efficiently and much more comfortably. If you found this video useful, feel free to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends, family, and colleagues, or whoever else you think may be helped by this information. And if you think there's anything I missed or hadn't considered or that I should try, go ahead and leave it in the comments. And as always, you're welcome to check out my blog, cammyathome.com, where I have quite a few more posts about working from home that you may find useful. All right, bye!